Oh, it blinked. It blinked for a quick second to troll me. And I suspect it's probably back to not taking my stream. Isn't this fun, chat? All you people who can't watch me. Oh my god, it's working. Johnny, you're a genius. Alright, I'm gonna shout myself out because it's super important. I think it is. Alright. So yeah, what can I say? I talked a lot about why I titled the stream the way that I did. I'm sorry for starting so late, but it seems like the technical problems have been non-trivial. And furthermore, I was semi-enthused for like trying to do a cast tonight, and then I tried Dead by Daylight. Johnny's gonna have to. I mean, Johnny's already heard this, so it's kind of crappy for me to do this to him. But like, I went from being somewhat encouraged to play a game to just generally being frustrated and pissed off, and I blame Dead by Daylight. I don't see why people like that game. But yeah, it was not just enough that it wasn't just enough that it was like, you know, a game that I couldn't get into. It was just like straight up, I don't find games fun right now, kind of bad. So, anyways, guys, what with all of the hullabaloo, with all of the running around I've needed to do, it's probably going to be a short cast. I actually don't remember my way around this level that well. I might just hop on one of these elevators and see what happens. But the game that ruined all games, yeah. Well, it's just like, I don't know, like I don't get why people enjoy it the way that they do. Obviously, I got it so that I could play with like Jess and you and that. And there is a certain, like, there's definitely a point where I clearly need to get better at the game. But like, I played about 10 rounds specifically to sort of address that, because I always hate it when you can reduce a criticism down to like the lament of the noob rather than like, here's my assessment of this gameplay. But like, my experience of the game was largely sort of it was just like a succession of waits, very long waits for games. And it was like a bit of a coin toss as to whether or not it would be over in a couple of minutes, because like I'd spawn right on top of the killer and I'm not quite sure how you handle that. Or, you know, for even the ones that were a little bit more of like an extended round and like, okay, this is sort of interesting, like, it didn't feel that fun. And you do that enough times and then you sort of lose your enthusiasm for gaming. So I've got a lot of really lovely auto hosts coming in. So we've got Flow Fantasy, Cringy Cat, Johnny Big Time, The Rambler, and of course we have got our proper hosts. Johnny Big Time was an auto host. Johnny Big Time was a proper host, as was Jesse Quill. So thank you very much. Jess managed to be convinced by forces unknown to do a little bit of a stream tonight, which I'm particularly glad for, because she has been out of it for a while and seemed to enjoy herself, so hopefully that means we get some in the future. I'll certainly feel better shouting her out if I know that there's casts for people to go to. Johnny Big Time was there, but two casters who I really enjoy, people who have made Twitch a better place for me, and as you know, I certainly have a very hard time seeing the bright spots on Twitch. But these are two people who make it just an absolute joy to hang out and to either inside of their channels or to stream myself. So I mean, that's one reason to stream, right? Even if you're not feeling, you know, like God's gift to casting. You know, being able to interact with or talk to, yeah, I don't want to go anywhere near that. No, you can go to the fire. Come on, don't stand on ceremony. I think I sort of get how these guys are supposed to be really, like, tough, but so far they've been just kind of like they've been more of a, how do I put it, like a, oh yeah, I sort of see what they were trying to do with this enemy, it didn't quite work, sort of a thing. Alright, yes, I am dumb enough to actually try and get this item. There we go. But yeah, so like I said, Dead by Daylight definitely discouraged me from like playing a game. It wasn't, I was not feeling particularly enthusiastic about playing something. So one of the things that is very strange about Dark Souls for me is that it's actually a game which I play to relax. Now, as I said kind of in the original intro for this, this is gonna hurt. Fancy footwork. Oof. Oh no. So what would be really funny is if I was like knocked. Oh shit. But yeah, so like if it's Duke's Dearest Freya, I think is like one of the few bosses which kind of wound up. We've actually run into one of these before, Jess. By the way, if you could please shout yourself and Johnny Big Time out, I'd love it. I kind of gave a crappy shout out to both of you, but that's more so in anticipation for the fact that I'm gonna probably give something a little more, something with a little more gusto when the people come in. Ah, yeah, clown. Okay, I gotta get out of here. Would have preferred not to take that damage, but I think I'm doing okay. But yeah, so, I mean, other than Duke's Dearest Freya, like, one of the big things for me about Dark Souls is, I think Jess pointed out that part of it is sort of focus, that my mind is, you know, focused on the game and nothing else, and I think there might be a little bit of truth to that. But one of the other things, too, is, like, I just kind of get to appreciate the design. Like, it's a very well-made game, it's a very good-looking game. And I think there's something to be said for just kind of reconnecting with something that is a pure entertainment product. Like, it's there, it's a good game, you enjoy playing it because of its merits as a game. Of course there's a third one. Why wouldn't there be? Everybody wants 3 giants with a massive clip to kill you. Oh my god, look at that thing. Alright, you know what? Your lava is bullshit, sir. I would love it, by the way, if they had a sense of humor about this thing and just, like, made you go up to your neck in the ash. I think that would have been the funniest thing for them to do on this boss. Or not boss, but, like, whatever. But yeah, so I mean, it's a game which definitely requires a lot of concentration. And so, you know, the same way that, like, I think everybody's definitely had some days where they're feeling like things are quite tough. And you know, again, it's either something that personally happened in your life, or, you know, just it was a hard day at work or something along these lines. And I can remember a lot of the time, one of the ways I would work through it would be writing. And it's not just like writing a journal or, like, you know, or here's why life sucks today. It was actually very specifically writing on a subject I wanted to understand a little bit better. Ah, fuck you. There we go. And again, it's sort of the idea for me, losing oneself in the moment, in the in the activity. So I think one of the nice things about Dark Souls, of course, is that it's definitely a game that does require quite a bit of concentration. I am a very bad chat partner sometimes, because I think that I can get by with with like multitasking, with playing the game while speaking to someone, and it never works. Tower key, eh? Key ahead, therefore master. I don't actually think I can. I don't think I can actually do anything here, but it's nice to check. Also to destroy the ash statues. Sorry guys, contending with the private messages from my hordes of lady fans, all 4 of you. T. Clark, how you doing? The stream delay is probably not that bad tonight, but I am probably really stupid and didn't see that you'd said anything until now, T. Clark. My apologies. So the big question to me is whether or not I want to go down first and explore new areas, or check out these rooms in the tower using the tower key. I think using the tower key is the better call here. Especially because I am familiar with going deep in tight corridors. More of this, eh? Jesus, Jess. Yeah, I don't know, like, I think, I don't ever want to try and make gaming sort of seem like... One of the ways that I look at gaming is a nice common language that we can use to describe ideas that I think are interesting. I think there are games that definitely raise the bar and give us very unique experiences that are not readily repeated in other entertainment mediums. But it is important to say, like, I genuinely don't think it is good for anyone to sort of dedicate their life to playing games. I mean, in some ways even to making games, other than the fact that, everybody's got to make a living, and... Alright. Well, this is just all sorts of exciting. Oh, so these guys don't want to... So basically, I gotta follow them in the dark. Come on, you clown. Oh god. Don't you hate it when you're in the tight corridors and you find out some other guy's in there? But yeah, so I mean, it's the same, like, you could say that about literally any occupation. It's like, oh, you're a chef? Oh, well, people can cook at home. Why are you doing that, right? But it's the only entertainment option that keeps you from experiencing it fully if you don't execute a performance correctly. Oh, you mean like seeing it, seeing the end. I'm really not sure what to do about this dark. Oh, I've got an idea. Hey, Johnny Big Time. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that your job is irrelevant. It just occurred to me as soon as I gave that example. I'm like, wait a minute, I've got a chef in chat. Alright, I'm a little curious as to whether or not I get the curse when I have a light. Yup. Yes, I do. Alright, screw y'all. I don't want no part of this. Again, given the fact that there are people who will do no damage runs of this game, I am not convinced that that these dark areas are have to be like run through. Alright, so anyways, I was talking about sort of the relaxation of Dark Souls. I just find, I mean, in some senses, like I said, it's losing yourself inside of an activity, but in general, just, I think, or actually, no, sorry, I'd moved past that, but I did want to talk a little bit about sort of how I look at gaming. So, again, it gives me some opportunities to talk about things that I'm interested in. It gives me an opportunity to, you know, to look at some ideas, to try some things out. I really like economics. But I also understand that I am somewhat unique in that there are people who do not see the point in what I found very fascinating. And not only that, but they straight up did not like the classes when they took it. And I can't necessarily say I blame them. I think some of the ideas are very counterintuitive, and they're not necessarily I don't know, they don't necessarily sort of show you the reward when you finally get to them. Let's see if I can hop on this thing. Alright, well this thing wants you to be quick. Okay, so this thing's gonna start shooting arrows at me. Yeah, balls to you, sir. Balls to you. Take me. No, you're immune to fire. Didn't the designers tell you? Hey, that's cheeky. Yeah. I outsmarted him. It's because I'm smart, chat. But yeah, so like obviously it's gonna be a hard sell for me to try and tell someone, oh, economics is the most interesting subject that you can study. But when, you know, so what are some of the ways that I can convince people of it? Well, you know, honestly, for my own part, I think if we talk about economic growth, it's a really exciting topic, and I actually think it touches on some of the things that people can relate to in economics and are legitimately interested in if you just give them a chance. But again, like, it's really hard for me to then turn around. Oh, hello, giant. You got nothing! Okay, maybe you got lava. But other than the lava, you're a bitch. Are you healing yourself, sir? Well, something's strengthening you. I don't like it. Holy crap! Die! Alright, yeah, there's totally something that's enhancing this guy. Yeah, so like, if I were to sit down and tell you, it's like, okay guys, I'm gonna give you some facts about growth that are gonna blow your... 10 facts about growth that will absolutely blow your mind. You won't believe number 6. Like, that's not really gonna win anybody over either. But when I play something like Crusader Kings, or when I talk about, let's say, Civilization, I do sort of think that's when we start approaching some topics that, you know, people can relate to. And so, okay, not exactly what I planned on doing, but I feel secure here. Alright, let's see what horrible beasties awaiting me on the other side of this thing. Oh! Hi! Well, that's taken care of. Beware of mimicry. Nah, we're good. Sorry, it's taken me forever to make this point, but that's fine. Twitch tells me I have a single viewer, so I can say whatever I want. Yeah, so, like, I'm not... Video game is not expected to be, nor will it ever be, a substitute for an education and, you know, specialization in the topic that you're interested in. Anybody who even tries to sell you on this idea... Hey, Paradox. Anybody who tries to sell you on this idea is... Oh, crap. Is it safe to say I didn't intend to do that? I think I know the path to take to get those souls. I mean, there's not a lot of souls all told. But I still want them back. One thing I'll say for this level, as beautiful as it is, I am definitely feeling a little aimless in terms of where I should be going. But then I think the same could be said about a few parts of Poly B. Why you gotta be a dick, Poly B? I don't like invasions. People don't like being invaded. And I have a feeling the reason why you're invading in this part of the game is because you're gonna rely on the fact that people fall off the edge. Well, I'm not gonna give you that satisfaction. I'm gonna be my own man. I'm gonna get my soul, so if you do wind up killing me... Oh, okay, you know what? Fuck that guy. I'm not dealing with that guy. But I fully intend to waste Poly B's time. Elevator, if you could come back before the big scary man with the yeah, that's excellent. I don't remember killing these, and I think they might actually come back to life. What is the spark that triggers those? Oh, cool. We've been here too. Alright, so you know what? It gives me a chance to talk about the things I'm interested in. But yeah, so like, as I was saying a little bit before, growth facts I think are very interesting. But it's maybe a little bit of a tall order to turn around and say to someone, it's like, okay, you know, I'm going to learn you about growth, and, you know, and you're going to be interested, damn it. So what we do instead is we sort of ease our way into it. We say, hey, isn't this interesting? This is a little bit like in the real world when... ... I don't know if you guys took economics, but I did, and I found it really interesting when they talked about, you know, X. And what it does is it's that nice little vehicle through which somebody who has a passion for a subject can sort of connect with an audience who maybe didn't have a specialized interest in it, and can sort of, you know, give that push to, you know, to better understand it, to maybe have a chance of, like, you know, understanding a topic well. I have a feeling like those little midgets that carry the gunpowder are going to be coming out of somewhere. I'm also interested to know if it expects me to, yeah, so I can run behind. Oh, for God's sake. So I gotta be careful on my timing for that thing, but I'm pretty sure I can get by it. That's the wrong way to do it. Oh, that was really the wrong way to do it. I do not want to give this invader the satisfaction of dying to a mob. Apparently I'm going to do just that, though. Yeah, so instead of it being this really kind of overt and inelegant kind of like, all right, here's, you know, I'm going to show off how smart I am. What it is instead is like, here's something that I find really interesting that I'd like to share with you guys. Something that maybe you originally thought wasn't worth studying. And now that I have your attention, now that I have a way of relating it, here's a couple of other things that you missed because the last person who told you about it maybe didn't do such a good job of you know, making the point or establishing the fact. You know what? I hate wasting these things, but let's make his life interesting because he's not leaving. I hope that works. Anyways, yeah, so instead of kind of forcing the topic, which I'm assuming you guys are perfectly capable of deciding what you find interesting and what you don't, I think the nice thing about using Twitch as sort of a vehicle for those kinds of discussions is that... So these guys have fire swords, by the way. I don't necessarily want them to be fighting me in these hallways. Basically, if they swipe at the guys with the explosive... Oh, for God's sake! It's a lot more than I was thinking there was. Holy smokes! Ah, ya whores. This is probably not a good strategy because I have no idea what's down this hallway. It could just be more enemies. Jesus Christ, these things are a lot tougher than you thought they'd be. Oh, I'm gonna die. You know what? It's worth the Estus. Success. So I don't think I'm doing a very good job of talking about econ and why I think Twitch is a somewhat reasonable way of approaching interesting topics that other people may not quite appreciate at face value. But basically, the nice thing is that you get to say, it's like, okay, so notice how we tried to do this. You know, it's a little bit like this other topic which you thought, you know, you maybe thought would have been boring at some point. I really wonder what's going on with this invader. He must be waiting for me to show up into a particular spot. Which is a shame, because I was kind of hoping for that tree of giants to, or that seed, to do the trick. So it doesn't look like any blue sentinels are on their way, so let's go back to my +1 mega blades. Claiming there's an illusion, but I don't see one. Yeah, same here, T. Clark. I'm not in a rush to find out where they are, don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of curious how patient they are. And I mean, if they're a viewer, then they're probably just gonna hide. But I've got plenty of time to be boring. Okay, so I think the guy's killing some of the enemies in the place. I believe that's why I'm gaining these souls. Prowlers? Bring it, Prowlers. Anybody mention you looked like the Predator? This is not the invader, by the way. Well, I mean, it's an invader, but it is not the invader. If I fell off the edge there, I would be very upset with myself. Oh, crap. I have no idea, Johnny Big Time, but it's getting a little annoying at this point. I hope I get more of these smelter wedges, by the way. Because, I mean, some of these things aren't really all that damaging. Another one? You suck, sir. Oh. Oh. Nuts to that. Oh, for God's sake. Y'all can go to hell. Whew. This damage is real. I'm okay taking a little damage if it means being able to... Like, so with this, what if I can catch them into something like that, I basically stun lock them to death, but... Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, exactly, Johnny Big Time. That's fine. I mean, there's stuff for me to explore here, right? That's an ominous looking shadow. One thing I would love From to do is encountering a statue like this and just having it like turn around and clobber you. Just out of nowhere, the hammer comes down. Well, this isn't going to just pick up and... What's required ahead? Oh, for God's sake. So what, this guy's just going to sit in my game? So, you know, even if I wanted to, right? I couldn't quit the game because I've got an invader. So apparently this guy's just gonna sit in my realm. What an ass. It's about time. Thank you, Polly B. Finally you show your decency. That, or maybe it's just something automatic that they have like a timer or something like that to stop somebody from... Oi! Fight me. Alas, nothing has happened. Alright, so clearly there's gotta be... There's got to be something more to this armor. I have to have like an item or something like this to trigger it. I don't believe I have enough to level up. You've never known a guy named Polly B who wasn't an ass. Very fair. I wonder if we get the phantoms back. Alright, so maybe heading down to the base was better. I mean, the top of the tower is, I guess, like where a lair would be. So I was trying to make sense about being smart and playing video games. Like I said, it's impossible to play something, especially something interactive like this, where, you know, except maybe in, I mean, I think not necessarily every game you're always going to put something of yourself inside of it, but I think it's reasonable to say that there's a little bit of you're putting a little something of yourself into a given game that you play. I think I've done this already. Yeah, it doesn't open from this side. Oof, I almost went over the edge on that one. So inevitably you put a little bit of yourself inside of a game that you play, and you know, if you have a passion for something, and especially if it's a subject that people don't find that interesting. So like a really good example of this would be, even before I was in economics, I was really interested in money. I was interested in paper money and methods against counterfeit. And I was really interested in coins. And it's kind of nice in the latter case, because at least one part of the Royal Canadian Mint is in the city that I live now. I got a chance to visit there, actually. But in one sense, all right, I believe this is from Mr. Polly B. Who isn't interested in money, eh, Johnny Big Time? But yeah, no, just in terms of how money works, and you know, again, I'm particularly interested in the design of money, but that's for me, right? But I was also interested in, again, you know, what is it about, like, what is this magic that it seems to do? You know, why money? There's a lot of different kind of angles that you can take on that. I mean, clearly this is something that is very fitting for a study in economics. I really don't know if I want to go down on that elevator or down those tunnels first. I think I'll do the tunnels. But it's very easy to see. So like, if I had just said to you, or better still, like I'm holding like a coin collection, and like it's obviously like, you know, sort of specialty coins which are like very old and don't sort of directly have, like, it's not obvious what their value is. They're, you know, they're not necessarily priceless, and they're not like Star Trek coins or something like that. Instead, it's just kind of like, all right, here is, you know, some pieces of metal with designs on them, and this nerd is trying to tell me that this is something that's interesting. You know, I would not blame you for, oh god, this is the start of the level. Pretty sure it's the start of the level. No, this is new. Well, that's just rude. thought you had me, didn't you? Oh, how many of these fuckers are there? By the way, mature chat, because we, you know, we talk about serious topics and... Okay, now I want to know where he went. Oh, Mr. Murderer, you missed one. But yeah, so if I came up with you with like a big, like, book of coins which do not show any particular value or something like that, or it's just like, okay, so far as I can tell, this guy is legitimately just showing a bunch of, you know, metal discs that do not even operate as currency. You know, I would not blame you for being skeptical, or even just downright bored, right? But if I were to say, you know, here are some facts. Like, so here's an interesting fact for you. Did you know that the Canadian Mint, it does not just make coins for Canada? They make coins for a number of countries. And in fact, the total number of countries that they make it for is something of a secret, because some of these contracts are top secret. There is also a level of purity that the Royal Canadian Mint has in fact hit a level of purity that other mints have not been able to do. This is in terms of like refining the gold, which again is probably something that I think most people wouldn't necessarily know, and most people would not associate with Canada achieving that particular feat. You know, maybe the idea, you know, would it be desirable to have a limited edition coin? It's the only stream that you can think of that you can regularly shift from mature to mature, then back again so seamlessly. This is the most mature of the matures. Sometimes you just gotta let a little profanity help you through the... Ooh, alright, well, you know what? You're an asshole, sir. That's just... It's not done, sir. Not done. Alright, so that thing makes me fat roll. That is just unwanted. So here's another idea. Actually, so let's see if we can make this a question. So there's a limited edition run of some like special Canadian commemorative coin. I mean, we've got our 150th anniversary of Confederation coming up, right? So surely they're going to do something for that, right? And you're in, and Jess has actually heard some of this stuff, so it's funny, but she also knows that I knew all this stuff before I heard it from the tour guide, so I'm good. But here's an interesting question for you. You are looking in the display case. There are 2 left of this, you know, special. Let's even say it's an investment coin that you're getting, right? That it's something where it's like, you know, I'm buying this because I think at like the 250th anniversary of Canada's Confederation, this thing is going to be worth even more. Okay, not the smartest thing I've ever done. So I'm just gonna keep losing health if I try and face this person this way, so... Gonna take a minute to heal up. So you've got 2 of these coins left. You see them in the mint. And you notice that one of them, let's say, you know, had a hair on the press. Like there's a crack in the coin, or like a line, but basically it's an imperfection in the coin. And then the other one is a you know, is a flawless specimen, the sort of thing that you'd expect to get from a limited edition run. Okay, I am getting... Ah, they cast a spell on me to stop my rolls. That is going to be a really hard thing to deal with. Which of the two coins would you pick? And why? Because it seems like there's a trick behind this, but the trick may not be where you think it is. By the way, Johnny Big Time, that was slightly dismissive of what I said in terms of interest in money. It could be that you are legitimately interested in coinage as well, at which point, if that is in fact your where you're interested, I apologize, and I would actually, I'd be very interested in hearing more about this interest. Of course, I'm also totally fine if you like money for the purely mercenary reasons I like money. I think that's something we can all relate to. So I want to know if I can maybe like get away with just like running through these guys. I'm gonna guess no. This is gonna hurt. Not as much as I thought. Ow, that did though. I gotta wait for this nonsense to wear off of me so I stop fat rolling. That's what did me in last time. So the one thing I want to do is at the very least get to my souls, because like to lose 3,600 souls or 36,000 souls on something so dumb is you know, I would not consider myself a man. All right, you know what? Fuck you. You were supposed to come in with all the other guys. I can see my coin story really caught everyone's imagination. Don't tuck yourself out there, Sparky. See, I said Sparky because I got lightning that I'm getting thrown at me. Oh, god damn it. Alright, I think the right way to do this is just to straight up run in. Alright, fuck off. This fat roll nonsense is bullshit. Alright, well I better hope I'm really good at this fight, because this is going to be a really hard run for my souls. Surely we're getting to a boss soon. But in the end, like, the big part that I kind of wanted to communicate through all of this is that in the end, like, I think, especially on Twitch, there's this illusion that gaming matters a whole lot more than it really does. You know, streamers don't particularly matter. And what should matter is perhaps the individual behind the stream, not necessarily this personality that they put out. Being good at video games is one skill among many that somebody might possess. You know, very basic things that are apparently very easy to forget once you start, you know, introducing some scoring system like, did I get partnered or not? Or my favorite scoring system, how many chicks dig me because of my stream? You take my souls. You know what? I hate doing this, especially at this point, but I am actually gonna burn an effigy. I'm also getting low on life gems. That'll probably solve itself soon enough, though. Alright, I think the Axeman is still... No. Apparently I dealt with him earlier? I am very happy I have a lot of stamina. Not the first time I've said that. How the hell am I going to deal with this? Alright. Alright, so this cheap ass is going to start attacking me from range. So that keeps me from hiding out here. Surely I can inspire the double axe guy, though. Yeah, there we go. Just gotta be really careful with my aggro. Yeah! Slow and steady. Come on, you clown. Alright, that was a lucky shot. Like I said, I don't mind taking the damage, I just consider that an investment in terms of the, in terms of my healing reset. Oh, fuck. This is going to be a little more difficult to deal with, but let's see if I can make it happen. Oh, you don't. Oh, fuck! Alright, this has suddenly become a lot more difficult. Oh, wow, so that stops your, actually stops your Estus if you get hit. You know what? Screw you, buddy. I can't believe I can't backstab this guy. Oh god, and the axe bro is in it. I don't even care what's down below. I need breathing space. Alright. This might... What the hell was that and why? These guys are a lot tougher than they seem at the start. Where the hell did this come from? Okay. Jesus Christ. I gotta do something about this. Oof. Alright, well, I'm still standing, so... I have a feeling there's a boss on the other end of this thing, though. So I'm taking this guy out first, precisely because... Ah, damn it. I want to know if there's anything else I have to deal with down there. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna straight up run through the first few chambers of this. I don't think I can get away with it on that one area. Well, you know what? Maybe I can. Alright. This was not well considered on my part, but I think we can still make it. A little more difficult now that I am fat rolling. Oh, it is very difficult now that I'm fat rolling. I was not thinking straight at all. That's fine. The burden of souls has been lifted. So there's got to be a way to open this gate without having to go through so many enemies. But seeing as I'm at a spot where I have only a few souls. Oh, weird. So that back one opened. Alright, I need to reevaluate that, because that very obviously opened a passage in the back. And see, I kind of see what you guys are saying. So I'm not trying to say that gaming doesn't have any merit in its own rights. In fact, one of the things I'm trying to say is I think the merits of gaming. All right, so I've got a very small window. You know what? Can I use the feather? I'm going to hit that thing, and I'm just going to charge straight through. So there's two things that I can sort of say. So in the caricature of somebody who just dedicates themselves to gaming, it doesn't really matter that they have these improved cognitive abilities because they're not using them towards something, you know, good, basically. So I want to see how long this thing's open for. Maybe can't quite get away with that. Let's get them, at least get them out of the... God damn it. It's so crowded. Alright. There's got to be some way for me to lock that, or open that thing up. But yeah, so the point that I want to make is like gaming is a worthwhile activity in its own right. It's fun. It's it's a mode of expression. There are some very satisfying stories that possibly could only be told. Oh God, what am I doing? Got arrested at the bonfire. Apparently I can run with my shield up. Sorry, I want to finish the thought, but I'm trying to think about this puzzle. Yep, charging's the way to go. Look at you, sad sacks. So let's wait for the gloom to wear off. Well, you know, I can take a quick peek, but if that's a bonfire around the corner, I'm going to be so happy. No, no bonfire. Alright, so that's a pit down. Let's avoid doing one of those for a little bit. Oh. Alright, not exactly how I wanted that to work. I'm still trying to deal with the fact that... Hang on, we got another one of these things? Oh, Jesus, and there's so many... There's so much cool stuff in these cells. I feel like I should just press on and handle it later. But yeah, I think basically you get a free pass on each layer that you do this on. So let's try the same strategy where we put the shield up and we just barrel along sort of like the right-hand side. Fuck you! Fuck you! No! Why have you forsaken me? This is going to be really interesting. Alright, so I get what I have to do, but it's... Man, that is such an interesting gauntlet they make you run. I really don't see any other way but to just, like, man up and run through it, so... Okay, took more damage than I wanted, but... I won't lie, I don't like that spell very much. Oh, this is making a lot more sense. Yeah, I pretty much know exactly where I am with these things. Okay, so I'm going to completely ignore any sense of self... Oh. Oh, well, that's an interesting spell you have there, lady. Well, I'm glad that I'm better than the misery that is playing Dark Souls 2. All right, so same story. We're just gonna barrel straight through, and the trick here is I just gotta dodge these wankers. Oop. I failed. Oh, did I fail? No, no way. That I am calling total bullshit on that. There was enough room for me to roll through that. But yeah, so this gauntlet's a little bit more tricky, I think. But I definitely have... So the ideal form is that you just... I mean, I'm almost tempted to run naked on this, but I do have some fights at the end that sort of prevent me from doing that. So I think we're just going to get better at dodging skeletons. Lots of this stuff. Just don't care the fact that this guy's made me gloomy. Powerhead. I won't use any radiant stones. At least not until I make some like real progress. All right, lady. You're here somewhere. I knew I'd find you. I hate it when you do chip damage to me. This is why we don't go out. Alright. So in this case, I'm two-handing my weapon. I'm just running straight through and hoping I don't take damage. Let's go. Oh! I need to run. Yes! Alright. Don't want to deal with this guy. Don't have to deal with this guy. I also don't want to use my healing yet. Okay, so it feels like when I drop down here, I'm actually going to have to earn the fight, but... I kind of have to go to the bathroom. Alright, that sucks. If I die to this, I am going to be so pissed off. That guy's down. I'm gonna use my real heal. Alright, so I've got a creepy spellcaster guy and a big titan to deal with. Manageable. Not my favorite way to spend my afternoon, but... Oof. Yeah, that slow is the devil's work. And you know what? I actually really have to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna hope... Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wait till this thing's done. I'm actually gonna quit out of the game. Sorry to do this to you guys, but I've needed to go to the bathroom for a while now. You know the worst thing is, I'm almost certain that behind this fog gate there's a boss waiting for us. I have no idea what he's gonna do to me. So, anyways, be back in a second. Alright, sorry about that. We are ready to go. So I'm gonna punch a sorcerer. The real question for me is whether or not I actually try to go past the hulking guy. I suppose I'm kind of obligated to, because I'm going to engage the sorcerer. And I feel like ignoring him is just going to be a really good way for me to get, like, just pounded in the back of the head. And yet, I also feel like it's possible to just run in and get... You know what, I'm going to try it the really stupid way, and I'm gonna double down on my stupidity. And I'm going to burn a humanity and a heal on it. And here's where the hammer falls. this. Nope, came in. Aha! I knew it. Alright, well, we dealt with the smelter demon before. Still haven't learned the lessons. Oh, haven't I learned the lessons. Alright, fuck this guy. I'm genuinely curious. Okay, so let's operate on a hypothesis here, right? The blue indicates magic. What's the opposite of magic? Okay. So it turns out I don't actually need to do that fight, which is good news. So this is going to be a lesson in dodging, basically. So, I don't know if it's supposed to be fire or if it's supposed to be dark. I think if it's magic, that dark feels like the more sensible way to go. Like, that's the only thing that I can see blue as meaning. I only have one, so I mean, if nothing... I mean, he can't be immune to, like... Oh, no. I failed you. I deserve to die. The opposite of magic is science. Yeah, so I need to, I need to stop taking fireballs to the face, that's for sure. I'm very foolishly wasting health on stuff like that, because they're easy to dodge. There we go. Not a scratch. Again, to systematically take the guy down, we go to the next step. After letting the dark wear off, of course. I will confess, this is a really nasty way to take me to a boss. And maybe it's because the Smelter Demon is just similar to a one that I've run in before, but the Smelter Demon was not an easy boss for me, so I have a feeling we might be stuck here for a bit. And apparently the third one, at least according to Johnny Big Time, is a beast, so... Sorry guys, I don't think that commentary is going to be particularly enlightened for this one, but... You know, sometimes you just have to hear a grown man swear. No! We did it, Reddit! Okay, so we've kind of got that down. Lord have mercy on any of the... I don't know if the no-hit stream... I guess the no-hit streamers must have done Scholar of the First Sin. But God bless them, I have no idea how they pulled this off. Alright, you're gonna come to me, sir. I think it's been coded not to indulge such shenanigans. It certainly knows how to handle me with a arrow. So here's the crazy question. Could I run past that? No, I can't use a buff and try and run past this thing. Oh, am I such an idiot? I'm gonna back the hell off before I die. I will use the healing tools available, and I think, honestly, the way to go here is just, I'm gonna try buffing my weapon. I'm gonna take a flyer, and I'm gonna see if dark works. Because I just don't see any other way that I'm gonna be able to divine, oh yeah, I need to use dark on this bad guy. So at the very least, I can test this hypothesis, and we'll figure out some other way of working with this. If that doesn't work, I'll try like charcoal pine resin or something like that. Yeah. We will watch the magic. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Get in there. Okay, I don't seem to be doing that much extra damage. Oof, but he's doing plenty to me. It's basically not free hits on him like on the original spell. Jesus, this guy is not kidding around. Alright. So... charcoal pyre resin, I think. The good news is... I've got lots of it if it works. The bad news is I still need to acknowledge the fact that I'm not very good at dodging his attacks. So it doesn't really matter what damage buffs I have, I'm still going to suffer. I was kind of hoping not to have to use up some heals this early. But it would be nice to have a fighting chance. I'm feeling like there must be some kind of a bonfire or something that I'm missing. Like the fact that this is so well lit. I'm pretty sure this just takes me somewhere miserable. Like, this seems like the place where you go if you don't succeed and you somehow pass this gauntlet. Or, and you somehow survive that gauntlet, but you don't get to the gate in time. Alright, this is looking good. Oh, I think I've... Oh, no! I would have made that if I didn't run into the fireball like an idiot. Alright, that's fine. It's more practice. Although we may have to just say that we leave it for Friday's cast to actually take on this boss, because I would like to be somewhat on, rested and on time for work. I hear that's still the done thing. Fire's really good at stunning these guys. I should try and use that a little more often. Yeah, so I got that first part down perfectly. Oh, but I do want to make sure I wear off the... There we go. high poise damage still works in my books. Just relax. That is 2 perfect rounds, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to keep an eye if he's casting anything nasty. Yeah. So again, drawback here, actually, again, not the smartest use of humanity, but because I've got such, like, there is no better start to this, right? I have everything that I need, and I didn't even use a single heal. So this is a time I kind of want to have all my ducks in a row for this boss fight. Again, it's entirely possible I'll just get pummeled simple, or actually, let's also see. I think strength boost. Charcoal pine resin. It's party time. Same damage as before. Oh, for fuck's sake. How do I figure this out? I'm... Not that you'd know from all the blood on the floor, but it seems like some players have difficulty with this boss. How did I know he was able to do that? Because I had a very distinct intuition. Oh, fuck that. It's probably gonna blow up again. Oh, no, okay, that's important information. Alright. This is just bullshit. God, that delay. So I mean, that was better progress than before, but holy smokes. So no discernible weaknesses. Sorry guys, I'm just getting a couple messages. I also need to decide whether or not I'm gonna carry on. I mean, that run to the boss was actually a really good one. So it doesn't seem to be something that I'm just trying to think through this. So, I'm not clear. Well, okay, so let's just think a little bit about what happened before. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. I'm dying because my dodges suck. Alright, talk to you later, Paradox Gaming. That I'm just gonna have to get better at. And they stagger his timings on some of this stuff, so I can't get too mad about that. So I don't know if it's interesting just to stare at the fire or to run around while I think about this. I mean, I could... There doesn't seem to be a problem iterating through different kinds of damage. Maybe I'll try poison on the odd chance that, like, I can whittle him down, but I don't really think that's credible. Like, I'll only really try that once, if I do. So yeah, the approach is down, but I don't know. Like, honestly, I think it just comes down to me learning how to dodge properly. If I'm completely honest, that's why I'm losing this fight. It has nothing to do with my... It has nothing to do with, like, using the wrong buffs or anything like that. Total D4, thank you very much for that auto host. These are cool. There we go. So yeah, those are actually not nearly as hard to run through. As soon as you get past the fact that you're running through a scary gauntlet, that is actually a very straightforward... that is a very straightforward thing to do. So. I'm going to be bad at dodging for a little bit. So I'm going to wait for this to wear off. I am going to try, because I have multiple of the resin, I don't see any point in doing the lightning because I don't have a story that convinces me on lightning. I don't have a story that convinces me on poison either, but I have multiple ones of that. Joshy man, how you doing? So if I can poison him, great. That's just going to give me some extra time to do some damage. And if I can't poison him, I've got 2 more for the times that I do need it. I'm not even going to bother with the souls. Ow. Fuck off. I guess if he holds his position, that's the target he's doing funny business. Okay, I gotta fuck off. Nice. He is... Okay, he can be poisoned. Okay, I gotta get my stat on. Okay. I need to not lose my cool. I don't know if he bombs after that. No idea what it's gonna do. Oh, this is gonna blow up. Fuck! Okay, that's actually kind of bad news that he's able to be poisoned, because now I'm gonna want to use those every single fight. That was actually a much better run than I was expecting on him. I think we might be able to take him tonight. I'm just sorry there aren't more people to see it. So how you doing tonight, Joshy man? I feel like it's been apologies if I don't recall you from before, but it feels like it's been a while since I've been able to catch you on a cast. Not a good start to this run, but again, keeping cool is the key. I let that slow come off. Pretty good, can't complain, good to hear. I let that dark go off mostly just because I wasn't sure if I had have enough stamina to take him the full hit. See, there's a little bit of chip damage that I didn't need to take. I'm very glad that you still have me on your follows. Obviously we're doing something a little different for this cast, but I actually really like Dark Souls, so... Sorry, not sorry. So, I don't know if you've seen me do a Dark Souls stream before, but Dark Souls is a really special game for me, because it was one which I was pretty much ready to give up on. And, you've only seen Dark Souls... Okay, interesting. So Dark Souls 2 has the reputation for being the least popular of the Souls series. And I sort of see why. I mean, in some senses it's a little bit like, you know, I chose to wear this shirt today. It's not because I hate all my other shirts. It's because, you know, I like this one. I liked it enough that, you know, I wanted to wear it. You know what? I hate the fact that I'm doing this, but I feel that that last run was really good, so I want to be prepped. But yeah, so Dark Souls was a special game for me because I did it without kind of consulting guides or walkthroughs. It was very difficult, but it was tremendously rewarding. So we finished the base game, and now we're on to the DLC. This is the second DLC. This is the first boss I've encountered of the second DLC, and he's a tough one, but we're making a little bit of progress. Now, I hate to say this, I am probably going to go to bed relatively soon, but while you're here, you can enjoy maybe a little bit less commentary as far as, like, uplifting words, but you do get to see me puzzle through a boss, which might be rewarding in and of itself, so... There was a summon sign, but I've also... The first time I did Dark Souls, I didn't bring any summons either, so I'm doing everything sort of first time without assistance. Alright, that was not a good start. Oh, that's just a cheeky, follow. Being a bit of a moron this time. Lots of really careless mistakes. So I'm going to use this as a chance to heal up. Smartest move ever made. So I completely squandered the advantage I had at the start of this. Let's find this back off. Well, he is actually weak to these magic attacks. Lost Estus. That is a damn shame. That's actually that was one of our better runs, and the fact that he just kind of hummed me up against the wall was the reason we died on that one. Yeah, Joshy, man, I mean, so, especially because Dark Souls is so, it's so challenging, but it's so well designed. I think the biggest rewards of this game come from just sort of dealing with the situations sort of on their own merits. You know, I understand, like, if some people are having trouble, like, I can sort of understand the desire to get a quick fix. But there really was no feel. Like, I can remember, like, winning the Ornstein and Smough fight, and, like, even for this one, right? I'm getting better each time I do this fight, and sometimes I fail. Sometimes I take a step backwards. Sometimes there are things which I couldn't have planned that, you know, like, I don't think the Smelter Demon's quite supposed to just, you know, smack me up against a wall like that. So, you know, how do you deal with something like that? Like, you just sort of, you acknowledge it, you move on, and you try to get better. And I think that's, you know, again, Dark Souls is just kind of like it's a puzzle game with sort of a physical element to me. Yes, the really funny thing about this is you don't even need to be particularly good at the gauntlet, as long as you keep your eye on the prize. I think I'm going to risk it and keep my health down at this, just because I want to be able to heal myself up before the boss fight again. So we run up. I accept that I'm going to take a little bit of slow on that guy. I don't think there's a point in me boosting up my humanity. Against my better judgment, we are going to use the rotten. I've got a ton of this old growth bomb, so that's kind of a no-brainer. Against my better judgment, well, actually, yeah, we'll do the charcoal pyronism. Yeah, see, to me, Joshy, man, is kind of defeating the whole point of a game like this. How you doing, Maka? Okay, I got really lucky there, because that guy tried to take a hit on me. So keep the damage up. Let's do the best of that poison. Back off. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to get a proper healing. I can't believe I got away with that. I paid for it with some foolish cards. I gotta heal up, unfortunately. Take advantage of this. That's a dirty attack. The first two phases were generally... I mean, I was able to get a miracle heal in. That's respectable. Well, I mean, in the defense of the people that Joshy Man was talking about, Maka, like, I think for some people it is fair to say I am not getting through this. Yeah, I screwed that up. I'm kind of tempted to try charcoal again. Well, no, I was doing the same damage with charcoal. I'm not going to lose my head. Yeah, in defense to the guys who read the, like, so I can sort of understand some people just wanting to see the whole experience. So as Jess said a little bit earlier in the cast, man. So something I think I started running in a little bit too soon, and those guys stopped getting stunned by the fire. I've definitely taken a step back on my ability to do that gauntlet, and unfortunately I'm paying for it in the form of health. That was almost the exact same thing that happened like— oh, you're kidding me. Sure, I mean, my preferences would be not to consult a guide at all, but the big thing is that if you wanted— so this is like what the guys who did Gods Will Be Watching did. Like, the experience of Gods Will Be Watching should be, you know, you play the game on the hardest difficulty setting entirely because the— Alright. I'm making some big mistakes here. But yeah, so like, the game is very difficult, and if you actually play through to the end, you will see that there is a story reason for the difficulty. It's a really interesting one, and I think it's a really well done story. But again, if somebody gets too frustrated with the, you know, with the difficulty of the game, they're never going to get a chance to experience that narrative. It's a very good one. And so in that case, I can't really begrudge them. Oh god, I've killed that guy so many times that the game's just having mercy on me. And I immediately take that good performance into getting hit by the character. Alright. That's really cool, by the way. I like the secret world. I will admit, some of the investigation missions are very difficult. Oh god. So I used to be able to breeze through them, and then now I'm getting hit by this. Oh well. So yeah, I mean, again, for my own preferences, probably you should at least make an attempt on your own. But I also sort of understand that if, you know, if somebody just wants to experience the story or something like that, you know, I can't begrudge it. It's just the only thing I would say is that, like, the big problem I have with what happened to Joshi, other than the fact that I know who John, I think that's a little, you know, this is actually a big missed opportunity. So obviously it works better for me if you can just roll through that thing whenever, right? But just imagine being able to tell everybody's like, oh yeah, you know that part I had like this really great, you know, dodge roll. It was like Indiana Jones. This is actually a bit of a... oh my god. Steel-willed Lori? And Driftrin Swordsman Adiel. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to bring in outside help when I've gone this far. Yes, Smaka. Okay, so apparently when I am human, I just rocket that. So in this game, you play an undead, and the game is a little bit more... the story is largely about trying to preserve your humanity in this... Yeah, I haven't played soon enough to know what wings are. That was bullshit. But yeah, so you play an undead, and you the way that you get your health, like, so notice how like my health bar goes down a little bit each time I die. The way that you get that back is to restore your humanity. So basically, as you progressively die and kind of fall into despair, it's kind of like you're rotting. Would be a way of looking at that. Yeah, I'm not gonna make this. So yeah, see, it would be great if you could just like roll through that. Oh, that's really interesting, Joshy, man. Yeah, I mean, I really like the game, and I actually upgraded to like an Ultimate Edition for all the DLC and stuff like that. But I just haven't had the time. Like, any MMO is such a big time investment now. It's kind of hard to. It's hard to like dedicate to just one. Might be a good one to stream though, actually, because I think it is a unique MMO. I really like it. So, some food for thought. There we go. But yeah, so I think the missed opportunity on those encounters are just simply not being able to roll through the gate. Obviously, I would like that because I can do a little bit better on the you know, on the encounters. I could survive a little more often. But all right. There's really nothing for me to do to make this better for me. Okay, well, I can drop this. What the hell is damage, though? Is it really... I don't know if it's physics. That's got to be magic. Blue is always magic in these games. I kind of want to keep the rest of these. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Oh, fuck. This is not going to end well. Too many times for that. Let's just move off. that was textbook up until that last. So I gotta find out what to do about the fact that he burns me down when I'm close to him. I think I just need to be better at when I time my heals. I could change my rings out, but I don't think it's gonna matter that much. Magic resistance didn't seem to do much. Maybe I should just try the physical protection, but I'll think about that next time. Surely this one must be getting near the end. Yeah, this one's gone. Good news, the more I succeed at this and kill people along the way, the less I need to worry about the bullshit. Not a great start, but I think we can still work through this. I don't know if I want to give up a humanity for this one. I think we're still kind of in training mode, so... That was a little unlucky at the start, too, where I got hit by the Titan. That normally doesn't happen, so... I call him a Titan, he's not really, but... whatever we call that. Beastie. Oh yeah, actually this is one reason why I might want to do the poise damage is for those intermediate guys. Yeah, I don't think I want to pop humanity for it. I don't think it's a golem Maka. It's or maybe it is. Whatever it is, it's awful. Can we all just agree on that? How am I for... Yeah, I can afford a few more of these. Alright. Oof. Back off, let's heal up a little bit. I always get caught on that one. So I want to figure out what he does first. And then... that might be a third follow-up. Ah, crap. It's a good time to get some hits in. Good start. Oh, I shouldn't have pushed out. Really bad call on my part. I fell for it again. You know, that's a shame because I managed to keep my cool for so much over that fight, and then at the end I just I let myself completely fall to pieces. That's, I think, the real killer. You know what? I don't know if this is the right call, but I am going to try the steel protection ring instead. Yeah, so I had my cool for the majority of that, but especially the last phase where that sword just does so much damage, you really can't afford to let your guard down once. Anyways, we'll learn. I wish they wouldn't block the way. If you had told me that this was how I was going to get to the boss, I never would have believed you. This feels like such an impossible obstacle. I usually prefer to target stuff like that, but I was reasonably confident in my ability to pull it off. Alright, against my better judgment, we'll burn a humanity. Heal up. It's not clear that the gains I'm getting it's not clear that strength is really giving me the kind of gain that I need, but frankly it couldn't hurt at this point. And we rinse and repeat. I don't have a good baseline for so I'm going to use the chance to heal up on this one. That's another explosion. Favorite place to be. Oh, god damn it. Okay, I gotta get back to heal up a bit. Oh no, opportunity's too good here. Okay, now I'll heal up. I wanted to do a second one, but it failed. Stop load. Oh, fuck. Very lucky on the iframes on that. That's a bullshit attack on that wall. Yeah, it's so easy to fall apart at the time you... like, you can do that fight so well through all the parts, and if you can't keep your cool during the third one, it's basically like you couldn't manage the first two parts. And it was like that with the original Smelter Demon too, but it's all good. I might stop using this strength boost at some point. I don't know if that's actually giving me an advantage. Right, well, I'm not going to throw my life away if I can avoid it, but clearly we are going to do a redo on this. What are we looking at? 12:30. I don't want to say another half hour, because I might make some genuine progress and feel like you know, one more round's gonna do it. But I did mean it when I said I kind of wanted to be in bed at a decent hour. No, fair enough, Paradox Gaming. You've seen... The only thing you've really missed are some slight improvements to this boss fight, but not... We're still in, like, the learning process mode. We're not in... we're not at a point where I'm like, okay, you know what, I have this fight the next time I do it. There's still a bit of learning in terms of the third phase. The flame really makes it tricky to navigate. At this point here, that actually feels a little bit more like an inconvenience more than anything. Alright, so again, I'm slow, but that's not the end of the world. I always wonder where that little sliver of damage comes from. Just trying to think, is there anything else that I can sort of use to get an edge against this guy? Pretty much all my buffs to my weapons are done. It's kind of like... Ooh, Hexing Urn. You know, I'm not confident about my ability to throw one of those in this combat. So it's a neat idea, but I think I'm just going to need to learn... Oh, god damn it. So why is it... Let's see if he does anything with this. Okay, no harm, no foul. It's gonna be another bomb. Fuck. There's really no way of knowing until it's too late. Again, I gotta time that better too. Back off, please. I probably should have, Paradox Gaming, thank you for that boost. So you know what, Dark Urns would be good in this context. Alright, fuck that. I don't know why. Okay, back off because he's gonna blow up. That is such bullshit. I'm actually... So one, I think it was bullshit I got tagged on that pounce. But two, I think it was bullshit that I got hit on the end of that, on that explosion. So... That's not a run to be too sad about, though. I think that was a pretty... I think that is a model of what the final run on that's gonna look like. Oh my god, why am I such an idiot? Alright. I hate using the big life gems in these cases. I really can't be taking those big life gems for granted anymore. Oh, for fuck's sake. No. Fucking bullshit. I don't like that I'm saying this so much too, because obviously more people are showing up here to do more than just hear me call things bullshit. I mean, everybody knows that the hitboxes on Dark Souls are a little different from what you might expect, but especially when it comes down to stuff like that, it just makes you grit your teeth. Loveless, how you doing? Sorry, you're hitting me. I don't think I'm quite at the salt portion, but I'm definitely questioning a couple of the calls that the game is making. It's not... I know it's okay to voice frustrations, but I mean, these are known like, come on. Alright. There's usually something more constructive that you can do than just say everything, like every time that you win, well that's clearly skill, and every time you lose, that's bullshit, right? Like, that's not a way to play a game, especially like this, but... Alright, that's new. That's actually really costly to me. I hate wasting this last miracle, but I think it's the smarter call. I think if I go in with anything less than full health, I'm not really committing myself to the fight. As usual, strength. My weapon has like the best strength scaling, so that's basically a DPS call that I'm making. I think I got very lucky that he didn't slam me. This is a waste of an Estus. That was a bad call on my part. Okay, this is a blow up. This would have been a good time for me to build up those dark runes. So. Fuck off. Oh no. When he comes up. Very careful. Estus inefficiently, but I really don't want to get caught out by like a rogue hit that takes me to the edge. So okay, I gotta get out of here. Okay, I gotta smarten the fuck up. And I think this is the end. Yep. Yeah, that's not a problem, Maka 34. I appreciate the thought, but I didn't... Usually when somebody's already received the benefit from something, my expectation is that they're not gonna... Oh yeah, sorry guys, I normally... That was a half-hearted one, but... Usually companies won't, you know, won't let you transfer the ownership once you've received the benefit for yourself. So, like I said, the thought was appreciated. Also, thank you. I don't know whether or not the credit for the Sunless Sea sale came through. But keep in mind, like, the reason I do some of this stuff is not just, like, it's cool to get the money, right? It's nice because I have put money into the stream, but I don't do this for a living, right? Like I do economics for a living. So to, you know, just have somebody who, you know, takes the time to think and, you know, have somebody who, you know, supports the devs and says, you know, I like your stuff and I actually kind of want to try out some of this stuff that I've been watching, means a lot. So, I mean, again, if was any confusion, usually if you just click the link down below and you do a search for your game, that'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, you never know how these things are going to work out, right? All right, so this looks like just a big circle. I think I'm going to spend some of my points. Oh yeah, no, I completely understand you wanted to support me. And again, it might just be late in informing me of the sale. But yeah, I mean, for those of you wondering what Maka was talking about, normally if I haven't, this obviously is not Sunless Sea, this is Dark Souls, but Dark Souls is not available on GOG. But if you follow that link, or if you follow the link down below, I get a percentage of a sale that I drive to their site. Also, if you sign up, that's actually something that helps me as well. But basically, GOG is for those of you who don't know, like, it's a DRM-free gaming platform. It is owned by CD Projekt, who are probably best known for the Witcher series. Yeah, I was still doing endurance. I think I'm actually going to pop some soul packs to get me that next level. So there's a few reasons why you should be interested in these guys. So I mean, obviously the pedigree is impressive. Actually, definitely did too much there, because I think the cap that I was looking for was 40 on my endurance. I'm not sure what to do with the rest of the souls, but then I don't have too many, so I will dwell on that later. But yeah, so in addition to being DRM free, they have sort of this fair currency policy. So the idea here is that some games, it might be lesser than before, I'm not really sure on this. I haven't experienced as much of it in Canadian recently, which I think I consider myself very lucky about, but some games will say, you know, it's $20 US, and then they turn around, and if you live in the Eurozone, it's 20 euros. Now, very clearly, 20 euros is not the same as 20 US dollars, but that is what you will be charged, depending on where you live. And that is not a fair practice, but it is the way that some people price video games. Wow, I really don't care about preserving health. So what what GOG does is any currency difference they will make up. I believe it's in like a GOG wallet, but basically it's one of the most customer-friendly gaming platforms that I've looked at. They spend a lot of time working on their classic games. So Jess learned this when she did her Star Wars sort of marathon. Oh, that's really funny. I didn't even pick up the souls from the last time. All right, well, let's see if I can make it through. I'm mostly doing this just so I can pick up the loot. But yeah, so like there is a difference between the version that you will get of a classic game on, you know, a more popular platform like Steam. I mean, this is not to imply that GOG is unpopular. It's, I mean, for me, it's actually my preferred gaming platform. But sort of Steam requires no introduction at this point. Whereas some people may, well, that was a bit of a disaster. It's tempting to just go in and like butcher these guys for a couple of rounds, but yeah, so I mean at this point I'm just playing with free health, right? It's not, oh yeah, actually I can slightly adjust my loadout though. We'll go back to the stone ring, and for the hell of it, let's go back to Guardian Seal. I don't expect that I'm gonna get called, but bitching does definitely help relieve stress. It's so funny to me that I can go through some, oh, butchering, sorry. Bitching definitely relieves stress. But yeah, so the big one for me, because I do like quite a few classic titles, is the, you know, to be able to get just a high quality version of stuff that I liked playing. Like, let's say Gabriel Knight Sins of the Fathers is actually a perfect example of something like this. I may not be making the right call here. I guess the big question is, does it seem like there's any items that I need to pick up? Is there anything on the other end here? This is pure exploration. But I can sort of afford it, so... Oh, there is something down there. Okay, I'm gonna clear the dark stuff. I know how I'm handling this. Okay. Boom. So long, sucker. You mad, bro? Alright. I don't even remember what things I got out of that, but... C-Docs off of GOG is good. I hope you use the affiliate link. Anyways, Paradox, love GOG after they quickly gave you a downloadable copy of your disc copy of Witcher 2 Enhanced Edition, been supporting it. Since sometimes even mentioned in your streams, be a great GOG affiliate in case you're listing, but knowing you know IRL use it. Well, I definitely use it. I think, I mean, so I'm kind of unhappy with Steam as a platform, and this is idiosyncratic to me. I'm not saying go and boycott Steam. I think you guys should use the platforms that work best for you. I definitely believe in supporting the platform that treats me like an adult, and I think GOG has hands down given me much better service than Steam. And so that is one point where my loyalty comes through. And this is totally independent of the affiliate connection. I trust you guys to exercise your good judgment when I make recommendations to you. It is absolute. So, I mean, I've said this a lot of times, and I think in some cases, even to a point where people think I'm just trying to solicit donations for it. But honestly, if you guys want to directly support the stream, the only reason why you are buying something is to support the stream. Any stream that you go to, cash on the barrelhead is the way to go, right? There is no substitute for that, because in the end, all that an affiliate link is going to give you is a percentage of a sale. But the fact of the matter is that most streamers, and I'm especially conscious of this, know that, I mean, we give free entertainment, there's no paywall for this content. It's basically by your good graces that I continue with this. I don't know if I'm supposed to go up or down now. Let's try down. Yeah, I've definitely been pimping GOG since way before the affiliate link. I just really like them. And it was largely a service reason. This ain't no secret. Oh, you know what? Go cast your fancy magic somewhere else. But yeah, so any streamer that attempts to make you act against your own interests is unworthy of your support, right? I would not have entered into a partnership with GOG if I didn't think that they were something that fit very well with the cast. Now, if you guys don't like DRM-free games and the hottest classics available, no, if you guys, don't see the value in it, I do not see how you benefit anybody by using that affiliate link. Like, in the end, I'm not in this to get rich, and I think anybody who does is in for a very rude awakening when they actually look at how much you can make doing this whole stream. Oh my god. That was an adventure. That was a really cool little level, though. Oh, hey. Don't I know you from somewhere? But again, I think most of us realize anybody who does the Amazon affiliates. Now, how am I supposed to survive damage like that when I'm in the middle of like a backstab? That's silly. I think most people kind of know. I think most people know that they're just simply not convincing enough to make. Fuck me. I don't think I'll survive this, but let's give it the old college try. The lava, it burns. Oh, fuck you. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, like, I just don't think any streamer is that convincing to make you go and buy something. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't really know what those gamer glasses are supposed to be about. I've never even considered buying one of those because a famous streamer was wearing one of them. Like, I'm sure they're useful to somebody, but, like, it's, if a streamer was saying to me, it's like, all of you, if you really love me, you'll go and buy this product. One, they are selling their reputation way too cheap. At the very least, get the money directly, right? Don't share it with the glasses company. And then number two, right? Like, the stream's small enough that did I go the wrong way? Hey, Princess Nami, how you doing? I know I've been streaming too long if you come into the cast. Duke Paulus, you as well. But yeah, so I mean, and I'll let you know too, like, I definitely know some people who make a living on Twitch. And I'm actually very impressed at the fact that they can do that. So I'm going to be a little more careful about the stuff I land on. But yeah, like these are the people where it's maybe a little bit more reasonable to, you know, say it's like, okay, like I understand that if I don't support this stuff, I'm not gonna get it. Oh God, I forgot about this guy. I shouldn't have Estus that. I should have actually used a potion. So if I can get the drop on this guy and then one swipe. Aw, oh, damn it. Anyway, I should wrap up the thought. But yeah, so I mean, there's definitely some people where there's a very reasonable case to be made that it's like, if I don't support this stuff, it's not going to happen. And in the end, like, I don't know a streamer who hasn't put considerable worldly resources into their stream and trying to make it the best that they can, right? I don't think anybody wants to half-ass this stuff. There are definitely some people who, like, I don't watch because I think this stuff is very transparent. There's definitely a style of streamer that sort of thinks that this is sort of like a quick way to get some dumbasses to part with their money. But I don't think that's why a majority of people get into this. And so in the end, like, for whether it's, you know, Jess or myself or, you know, any streamer that you know who set up an affiliate link, I think the main reason why we do something like this is just, of the products you are likely to buy, games are probably pretty high on that list, right? I am genuinely concerned at my survivability here. Okay, good. It's alright, guys, I gotta... For fuck's sake. Alright, I'm afraid I'm in full concentration mode, guys. This is going to take a little bit. I hesitated, that was bad. Finish it! There we go. But yeah, basically, I don't really know of any streamers that are just like sitting down and saying, you know, what's the fastest way for me to make money. There are some people who can afford and who decide that they get enough enjoyment out of this stuff that they want to go that extra mile and do a direct donation. But I think what most people do when they come up with an affiliate link like that is to say, it's like, okay, chances are you guys are most likely, out of all products, you're most likely to be buying a game, right? So if there's a partnership that we can make that's gaming oriented, this is probably going to have the most success in terms of converting sales that already would have occurred. You know, these, oh my god. Fuck off. Double fuck off. Hopefully I find a bonfire soon. So long, suckers. Unless you follow me down the hole. I do not envy my chances of getting past that again. So... Oh no. This is gonna be another boss. Alright, anyways, yeah, I don't really know I don't think there's that much more to say about this stuff. Like, well, these bosses are actually really close to each other now that I think about it. Yeah, like, at least as far as I say, like, in the end, I think if I were to try and, like, trade in my reputation for, you know, worldly possessions, I don't think it would be being a shill. And I get that some people do that, and I think it largely comes out of just a sheer ignorance in terms of the value of their word. Or maybe they just don't value it that much. But again, like, as far as I'm concerned with that affiliate link, I like GOG. I really think it's the best platform available to me in terms of the types of games that I like to play and the things available. It's not perfect by any means. Oh, hello. Oh, no. Alright. Let's just, I'm gonna get... Okay, good. So I am before here again. So I'm gonna try and pick up the soul. Alright, not ideal, but... Alright, definitely not ideal. So what we're gonna do here... you know what, we're actually just gonna run straight in and see whatever the hell's on the other side of that gate. Mad strats for the win. Anyway, so let me just quickly catch up with everybody. Thank you again for being so... Actually, guys, Princess Nami, it's also very just really fun to have her in chat for the good vibes. OCS Winspector, hope you're doing well. Homemade kettle corn, excellent. Don't think that big guy likes chalk very much. No, he does not. But yeah, I mean, in the end, I think most people, when they have like an affiliate link, they have a GOG link or something like that. I'm just going to say this before the boss fight because I have a feeling things are about to suck. I think most people are just trying to identify purchases that members of the cast would have made already, and if they get some credit for driving the traffic that way, you know, so much the better. In the end, if you do want to support a caster, all right, you know what, I don't want to read these tips. If you want to directly support a caster, you guys know how to do that. Pretty much everybody has a donation button. But as far as I'm concerned with the GOG thing, I do encourage you guys to check it out. At the very least, sign up for an account. And for the rest of it, I think, honestly, you know, don't buy a game you wouldn't have already... Oh. Field Knight. Well, he hits like a truck, that's for sure. Let's see what happens. Actually, it's not that bad. Bet that big sword, yeah, that big sword hits. Okay, I gotta get... Fuck! Do I really want to try this second guy? Alright, that was just a really sloppy round for me. I was too busy talking about affiliate links, but yeah, and I don't know. I guess the only other thing that I can say on this issue is, like, if somebody is trying to pull the whole... Oh god, yeah, I was not built at all for that fight. Okay, so I'm gonna guess physical damage is a big thing, and he probably can't be staggered. that easily, so we will go for steel protection. I suppose the flip side to all the stuff that I'm saying about donations is that I hope you guys just don't run into casters that kind of consider you an ATM. And if you do get the impression that somebody's trying to... I mean, honestly, if I was... So in my own case, if somebody does that, I'm kind of... I guess... I don't think judgmental is the right word, but like... I'm pretty straightforward when it comes to stuff like that. Like, for me, that's sort of the shooting offense. I usually don't go back from that. If somebody, you know what, I want to see what's on that higher level. I'm sure if I was smarter, I would have done that without taking damage, but... Okay, there's clearly something coming to kill me there. You know what? I think I know what I'm going to do. Strength ring. Let's just see what's going on with that. I'm not entirely convinced it's going to be... Yeah, exactly, T. Clark. Curiously enough, the strength ring increases strength. I don't know what I was expecting. So the real catch here is... because I have a scaling strength. Hello, brother. Don't mind me. Just an adventurer. Oh, no, please. Fuck you! That was uncalled for. Alright, you know what? I'm feeling ballsy. Ballsy was the wrong call. I am gonna be very lucky to survive this. I am very... Oh shit. Oh shit. They built this specifically so I can't pull this bullshit. At least I'll get my dodging down. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You can hit the broadside of a barn. What the hell was I talking about? You're kidding me. Save me the trouble for next time. Technically, I'm not going in with full health, but... I'm not even gonna bother getting the souls. Let's just deal with we'll deal with the task at hand. Okay, I gotta be really careful about that one. The gentleman is quick, I'll give him that. I love how I just kind of casually sip. It's like, yeah. Alright, that was poorly considered on my part. Alright, so the fume night is real. I don't know how many more of these I'm gonna do, guys, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I need to do bed, but... There's got to be an easier way to get to this boss, but... KT Gonza 98. Hello, how are you doing? But yeah, so I mean, when I was talking about the so I think anybody who would treat an audience that way, it is KT Gonza. This is my first time, so I've played through Dark Souls 2 completely. It's basically the first time I've ever played the full game. We're on to the DLC now. Just beat the Blue Smelter Demon, and I am learning the joys of this encounter. I think in a perfect world I would have sort of an infinite amount of time to look for bonfires. I might actually do that before the next time I stream. Okay, that was kind of a dumb idea. But one of the big rewards of the original Dark Souls for me was being able to complete it without references to guides or anything like that. It was very difficult to do, but the feeling was... there's nothing like it, so I was hoping to try and capture that as closely as I can on this playthrough. And so far we've had a good one. This might be my last run though, because I really do need to consider bed. But I have no reason to believe this would work, but seeing as this is probably going to be the last one. I found the first DLC somewhat straightforward once I found my way around. I'm gonna leave something for dodging. Yeah, see, I'm not paying attention to the way he moves enough. Fortunately not a fatal one. Just getting a little too jumpy. Oh, this is gonna suck. Damn it. Oof. Alright, so he's got more in store, it seems. I suppose if I'm lucky that thing... Oh, hang on. Oh god. Alright, you know what? Fuck you, Food Knight. Audio shenanigans. Oh my god, he can be staggered. Cool. potentially fatal, but... Oh, fuck. I got so fucking greedy on that. I could have said I beat him in like the second or third. But... It's so... I always make the same mistake. I always say, okay, well, I've got this little chunk of health left, and what I should have done, I should have held back on the fireballs and then just run in to get my final 3 hits. And that was the one time I didn't do that, because I said I said I'd have enough, but that's a really embarrassing way to lose, because like you can clearly see the 2 times I just like took a hit to the face thinking I was going to be able to reply. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull out another one like that, but let's do one more for old time's sake. I don't think the fire did anything. I could try the lightning. Oh god. Hi! Wee! That was kind of cheeky, but... Okay, so now we just run out the clock. I'd wave, but I kind of want to knock this thing back up to not have to do that again. So I think to myself, am I actually going to have to... Am I going to be able to use this thing with the Fume Knight? No, so I'll take care of that. Let's just take a quick evaluation. I don't think I want to change my inventory at all. I'm going to slightly lighten up with these. Steel protection feels like... I mean, the only other potential argument would be something like a Ring of Strength. Which may potentially do more than the blades, but until I start consulting like a walkthrough or something like that, there's no way I can confirm it. So, because I like wasting consumables, we already did the charcoal pine, so I'll use my last gold pine. Remove the temptation. I will take 1 drugs, and I will proceed to do nothing even remotely close to what I did on that boss the last time. But it will be fun. Because, like I said, Dark Souls is a therapeutic game. This is an inauspicious start. Oh god. Okay. I'm just gonna... Ah, god damn it. That was just bad. Alright. I think I'll do one more to redeem my ego after that. That was just poorly considered in every conceivable way. I think I've probably already hit my peak for tonight, but... Does anybody have any econ homework they need some help with? This is the one thing, I mean, I've talked a little bit about research that I've done. I've talked a little bit about topics I find interesting. But I've yet to actually, and I know some people from some of the classes that I TA'd have actually watched my stream. But can you do some figures to you to estimate how much profit you can make on a business plan? I haven't ever been able to figure that out for myself, Paradox Gaming, so I'm not going to say you that those figures are going to be right, but... Alright, got a little turned around, but nothing. Oops. I used to be able to... I don't think I dodged it, I just think I got lucky by not taking that damage, but... I always feel like a moron when I take one of those to the back. Oh yeah, I don't have my charm. Alright. I know you're here somewhere. I don't really want to burn a humanity on this because, again, at this point this is more so for fun. Although there was that good recommendation that I can actually check my stats with those rings, so... what am I looking at here? Would probably help if I actually equip the damn weapon. Gotta do a cost-benefit analysis of you selling your soul as a shill to get rich streaming. I have no... I mean, it's very impressive that people have actually been able to make a living doing this. Okay, so 403 versus... Yeah, no contest. Although... So let's look at this the other way around. $406, that doesn't really seem to be worth the... Alright. We're gonna go cast our fancy magic somewhere else. We're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Sorry guys, I know the commentary kind of sucks, but... too slow. Alright. Not a good start, but we'll, instead of getting to timings are still over. My bigger worry is I haven't taken advantage of little opportunities to do some damage like that. Oops. And I keep falling for cheap stuff like that. Yeah. I think I'm done for tonight. I'm making some very, very careless mistakes that I made the first time I did this fight. And I will admit, I keep looking at the clock, and like I said, oh, it's 1 o'clock, I need to consider finishing for the evening, and all of a sudden it's 1:30. And it's probably better I don't tell you what time I need to get up in the morning, but it's not a pretty hour. So, I'm sorry about that, guys. Sorry, Joshy man, I do see what you're saying. I'll cover that for the end of the evening. Right. But yeah, I gotta... yeah, I'm sorry to end on such an anticlimax. I think, I do think I got a little luckier on that run before I got super greedy, but I know what the model. I have the model for what it looks like, and then my implementation's just been a bit weak, and I think that's just a function of the hour. I haven't been casting. How long have I been casting? Yeah, we're still an hour under what the time I normally like to cast, but I also got a super late start because of the problems. Anyways, so what Joshy Man was saying. The streamer that you followed at the beginning thought she was great. You stayed in her stream for 48 hours, 4 to 8 hours a night at the beginning. She made me mod after a week and a half. You found her stream. She was partnered a few weeks after that. The more time you spent in her stream, the more like you felt she was doing it for the money. The tips started drying up. The rate of subs slowed. She started looking more and more reasons not to stream. Yeah, it's... I do not replace my pillows with bagged milk, although I did have an American visit and actually wanted to confirm the rumor that there is bagged milk. I have only drank bagged milk once. The milk I have at home, like in my fridge right now, is a carton, but bagged milk is not a mystery to me. I do like poutine though. Actually, yeah, KT Gonza 98 makes a really good point. I could be much more of a lazy person than I already am by drinking the milk. I mean, so one thing I will say, Joshy Man, in defense of the people who do streaming commercially, right? Like, this is gonna sound a little full of myself, but whatever. I've got an MA in economics. I'm allowed to take a bow every once in a while. So if you consider, like, nobody goes into government to get rich, but I'm taken care of. Like, I'm doing okay as far as like an income is concerned, especially given the fact that I'm effectively in an entry-level position for what I do. I'm still an economist, but like I'm low on the totem pole. I mean, it's basically my first placement after school. And you know, if you wanted to make more money, you could go to the private sector, but basically, like, this is a skill that's in demand. A lot of people hate taking econ classes, which means that if you have that skill set and you can do it reasonably well, your salary will follow. So one way of looking at this is to say, you know, my time is valuable, right? Every hour that I spend doing this is an hour that I don't spend, you know, working for a think tank or, you know, doing data science for some .com company that's going to make an app where you like push a button, it'll say the word lol, and for whatever reason that sells for like $1 billion. So now that's not unique to me, right? One of the reasons why I don't consider Twitch, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I'm grateful to have people here, and I like the fact that people like my stuff enough to kind of come out on an evening in any numbers, right? I love the fact that when I take a look at this, when I take a look at the chat, there's a lot of people whose names I recognize, and the people who I don't recognize are really friendly. They're, you know, they're cool to hang around with, as we have in the case of KT Gonza. Sorry to call you out there, but I don't recall you in the stream earlier, so so it doesn't have to be econ, right? Anything that somebody does for the hour that they could, you know, the thing that they could have been doing instead of the hour of streaming is sort of their opportunity cost for streaming. And it is reasonable for some people to say, if I'm going to put the time in for this, I expect to be compensated. Now, personally, I don't see the business model, right? Like, I don't quite see how you make a living doing this. I suppose unless you're really out of other options. Like, if you just do not want to, you know, change bed sheets all day, or, you know, if you don't want to, I don't know, if you don't like physical labor or something like that, like, if the type of work that's your alternative is something that just really does not speak to you, and you have something of a gift for connecting with an audience, you know, clearly people have been able to make it. Like, I don't see any reason not to at least give it a try, as long as you have a realistic role. But I'll be honest with you, like I would have no confidence whatsoever in being able to predict, this caster's really good and they're going to make it, but this one isn't. Like, I think Jessie Quill is a phenomenal caster. She is not going to be a full-time caster. I think Tuesday Gray is largely a full-time caster and does, I think she does wonderful casts. But I should be shouting these people out while I do this. Especially Tuesday Gray. Oops. Tuesday Gray actually was, I hosted her when I was doing the first Dark Souls, and she had a smaller number of followers than I did at the time that I hosted her. She's now partnered on Twitch, so somebody who's worked very hard to get where she is. But again, every stream sort of hits these plateaus. So I wouldn't have any confidence who's going to become a total biscuit and who's going to basically be like me, right? Which is very fortunate to have the audience that he does. I have a bit of a weird cast here, especially if you look at the Monday stuff with the grand strategy. And the fact that I become a dick if I'm ever backseated. Like, there's a lot of things that I do to actively push away an audience. But in the end, so in defense, I got a little off track, but in defense of this individual, Joshy, man, like, I do think it's very legit. I do think it's reasonable for casters to say, it's like, look, I'm putting something of myself in this, and I expect some kind of compensation. Now, that compensation can take a lot of forms, whether you guys like me on Twitter or on Twitch, or if you donate a game every once in a while, or you just say, I love your skills, whatever it is, there's a lot of different reasons why people do this, and, just the good feeling about knowing that you put on a good show is sometimes enough to take you through. But it's always tough. Like, I know it's really cool to have this illusion that all of the casts are, they're entirely about the love of the game, and in some senses they are, right? I don't think you can really do this stuff without a passion, but I think it's a little too easy sometimes to say because this person was looking for money that that was a necessarily bad thing. Although I also know that's not necessarily what you're saying, Joshy, man. What I try to do is just give the two halves on. Anyways, I know there's probably more. By the way, on poutine and donair, I do like the occasional donair. I am a fiend for poutine, just so we can be clear. Canada's famous for trees and rocks and rocks and trees and trees and rocks and rocks and trees. Water. It's definitely a lot more in Canada for that. I really like the capital. There are so many museums here. All of it is just fascinating stuff. Like, so if you guys, I don't know how many of you got to see my Battlefield 1 playthrough, but I've been to the War Museum and I've seen the World War I stuff. And it's surreal to see genuine World War I weapons that look exactly like in Battlefield 1, and like the suits of armor and stuff like that. It's mental. Anyways, T. Clark, better spend the better part of your night trying to talk to your friend in Canada, sending you some of the beaver tails or Sunmaid because you've never had them or heard of them until tonight. Beaver tails? I don't think I've ever had that. Should not reply to Skype messages or Twitter messages, skip over nearly every comment that you put in chat. You see, that's tricky too, Joshy, man, because like you're a mod, so it's really hard to say what's going on there. Oh yeah, everybody's backseating now. Alright, that's it, guys. I don't know if my neighbors would be too happy with me if I yelled, so instead, we're just gonna say, good night, everybody. Let's find somebody to host. I think, especially the fact that there's the same number of you at the start of that rant as there was at the start. Oh, guys, speaking about guys who are making a living on Twitch, I actually really feel like I should, on this note, I should actually get you in touch with Kitch22. He is, I think, is a really entertainer caster. He's on the IRL channel right now. I don't know if that's because he's in between games or something like that, but I definitely think you guys at least owe it to yourself to take a quick look. He's done Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. He's probably, if he hasn't finished Neo, he's probably going to do some more of that. So he does do some sort of Souls-like stuff. But yeah, I think actually Kitch would be a good guy, especially because we were talking a little bit. Actually, all throughout the cast tonight, we were talking a little bit about the. We were talking a bit about the game, or about kind of the, I don't know, the ethics, not the ethics, the etiquette of streaming and the big money question and stuff like that. But I'm really tired, so I'm going to call it for a night. We'll probably do Dark Souls again on Friday, but as always, if you want to know what's being cast a little bit before it gets cast, Twitter's the best place for that. If you want a notification of where the stream is coming online, you can hit the follow button. Hitting the follow button, I believe, does not directly give you a notification. I believe you have to actually click on that drop-down menu beside the follow button to get the notifications, but I notice a lot of you usually come in after the Twitter message anyway. I believe I am done whoring myself out. Thank you everybody for being such good sports, especially with the slightly more low energy take on Dark Souls. I'll be back doing it soon. I'm really looking forward to ending the Fume night. I think it probably won't take too much longer on next cast, but we will raid Kitch 22 with our standard raid message. Thanks everybody, have a good night.